What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new Star Wars video, this time breaking down an all-new theory that might just solve one of the major problems that many fans had with The Last Jedi. One of the most shocking moments of the film came in that climactic moment aboard Snoke's flagship, the Supremacy. Having delivered Rey to his master, Kylo betrayed Snoke and killed him. This was a huge shock to many fans who expected Snoke to continue as the villain into Episode 9, and many felt like his death actually cheapened his character, essentially getting backstabbed by his apprentice before we learned more about his motivations and backstory. In the end, this was just one of many complaints that some fans had against the movie, but what if what we think we know isn't quite right, and what if Snoke is actually still alive? This theory suggests that we look to another part of the movie for a ready-made explanation to how this could be, Luke's creation of a Force duplicate later in the film. First, some background on what we do know about Snoke, even though honestly it's not a lot. We know he's very old, having lived through the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Empire, and also very powerful. Despite his relatively unassuming death, we see in this movie he is incredibly strong in the Force. For an example of Snoke's power, we only have to look at the telepathic connection he creates between Kylo and Rey, despite them being light years away from each other. When it first happens, it causes Kylo to remark that Rey can't be doing it because the strain of pulling off such a feat through the Force would literally kill her. That's right, as powerful as Rey's connection to the Force is, so much so that so many people complain about it, even she would not be able to do what Snoke did. That brings us to Luke's illusion at the end of the film. The ultra-powerful Grandmaster not only created a Force projection of himself, it was a projection that could actually physically interact with the world around it and touch people, as we see with Leia. He even created a projection of Han's gold dice from the Millennium Falcon, which remained with Leia until Luke himself passed into the Force. What if the version we see of Snoke in The Last Jedi is actually just that, basically a Force duplicate of the real thing? I've seen this theory posted around the web, and wherever it gets brought up, the authors usually make some really good additional points. And for example, I saw a Reddit post actually point to the fact that Snoke's throne, which we see in The Last Jedi, is much more lavish than the throne we see in the Snoke hologram in The Force Awakens. And this isn't to say that Snoke couldn't just get an upgrade between films, but it could help explain why his whole aesthetic, really, from ship to throne to outfit, is just much more elegant and refined in Episode 8 than it was in Episode 7. It's also worth remembering that Snoke wouldn't be the only Sith to survive being cut in half either if he was actually physically there, as somehow Darth Maul actually lived through not only a similar injury but also a long fall down a reactor shaft, so it can be done. Snoke does have some precognitive abilities through the Force, which he was trying to show off when he was gutted by Kylo, so it's possible that he foresaw Kylo's betrayal, or at least the destruction of his ship or something major like that, and secretly set about putting another plan in motion. What that plan is, or what it would be, remains to be seen, but personally, while the evidence shown in The Last Jedi makes it pretty clear that this theory could be a possibility, I honestly doubt that it comes to pass. I mean, narratively, I think it would reset a little bit too much of the story, and it would kind of undercut Kylo's position at the end of this film to go this route in the 9th film, but who knows? I mean, there's always a chance. I've always felt like the complaints about Snoke's lack of character development were a little bit baseless, to be honest. I mean, obviously, he didn't receive much narrative explanation, and his background was left largely unexplored, but to be 100% fair, I mean, the same can be said of Emperor Palpatine in the original trilogy. I mean, literally, he first appears as a hologram in Empire Strikes Back, like Snoke first appears as a hologram in The Force Awakens, and then the Emperor is killed off in Return of the Jedi 1 movie later, like Snoke is killed off in The Last Jedi 1 movie later. We never learn in those films how they rise to power, which was saved for the prequels in the case of Emperor Palpatine, and we never actually saw how Palpatine became a Sith either, except for a couple lines of dialogue in those movies. So, you know, we could see the same route taken with Snoke that Palpatine got, which is more or less that his background is saved for the books and not really delved into in the movies. But let me know what you think of this theory in the comment section down below. Was Snoke in The Last Jedi just a Force projection, or is he dead for real? That's going to do it for me here, though. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. For even more content, check out our website at hybridnetworkyt.com. And if you love HN and want to take your support to the next level, consider donating to us on Patreon as we strive to bring you the best content possible. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.